I'm going to go ahead and hit record here. And welcome everyone to welcome Forest Nation, Dynamic and Diamond Forest teams to our Sunday night team call. We have some really, really good information to share with you guys tonight based on money objections. So, first Rebecca's going to give us some announcements, then we're going to get right into it. So when you listen to this call on the replay, make sure you sit down with a pad and a pen or however you take notes, and take some notes to help you move your business forward. So, Rebecca, it is all yours.
All right, thanks. All right, so first off, it's a Summit update. So this is for everybody who's going to Summit, and if you're not yet, get on the waiting list and try to get yourself there, because I've told you before, you'll regret it if you don't. You'll be kicking yourself when you see all of our awesome pictures and announcements and all that stuff. So anyway, we did have a condo reserved, but I found something through Airbnb that was closer and cheaper. And there's 4 bedrooms, and it holds more people. So right now we're somewhere between 4 and 5. I mean, not 4 and 5, 5 or 6 people. I'm waiting for a confirmation back from Justine on if her husband is coming with or not, and then we have the potential of more people joining us. But right now the total for that is $1,186, and Dee and I have split the cost right now. So if we stay at 5 people, the cost would be like $237.20 a person. If it stays at 6, if it goes to 6 people, it's $197.67. And then if we have more people join us, because I think Dave's got some leads on some people that might be wanting a place and everything, so it will go lower than that.
How many days is this? For 3 days? 4 days?
4 days.
Okay.
So that would be, yeah, so it's not a night. That's for the total for your stay. All right. So anyway, if we get more people, either Dave's connections, or maybe we'll, if we get more of our people to go, or if we might open it up to Team Fit Revolution, our big team, and see if anybody else there's in need of a place. I kind of want to keep it at least within the family. I'm a little bit weird like that. So I don't want Planet Presenter people or whatever. I just assume it'd be us, okay? So we'll post a link to, it's a house. We'll post a link for that in the, what are you laughing at? It's like, what?
I'm laughing at Heidi because she's probably shushing one of her fur babies.
Oh, okay, I'm like, is something exposed? What's going on here? All right, back to what I was saying. Anyway, so that's an update on that. If I'm going to shoot for Success Club 10 so I can get the Billy Idol contest, party. So I will have to update you guys on that, but we'll have to do a little thing of whoever gets like the most points total, like between May and June or something. I have to get my Success Club 10 first before I can actually make this a thing, but I'm just gonna put it out there. I'll take a date, and I'll be the person who goes to Summit of our team who has the most cumulative points for May and June, okay? So, because you needed to get at least 5 in May, 15 total between the 2 months. All right. Next one, we're doing a backstage pass. I saw Kiana Hanna post something the other day, and she was doing, I've seen Carla do this before, but she just kind of does it with just writing it out. But Kiana and some other people on her team did it live, did Facebook Live through the event page. And I've just started watching the actual videos. I didn't click on it the whole time, but I was reading the stuff. I think it's a cool idea. I know that Carla's done several of them, like I said, with just writing it out in the posts. This is the first time I've seen him do it with the video. So I figure, what the heck, we're going to do it too. That's going to be this Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And then the following Thursday, and we need people to help out. We need at least a couple, 2 or 3 more people for each time, okay? And you can look at the videos. You don't have to be great at speaking yet. This is how you get good at it. You're gonna screw up, it's all right. But if you have some notes to go by, you can watch the videos that are on Kiana's thing, and and then just kind of pick what you feel most comfortable writing notes on and presenting. So I would like to encourage any of you who have not already stepped up to step up and help out with that. Okay. I'm going to also put out some prizes for that because they gave away some prizes. I do have, I don't know if you guys remember, some of you old timers, the Shakeology, the workout videos that came with your Shakeology. I still have about 30 of those. I don't know. I got a lot of them. So those are free, but I figured we can use those as prizes. We can also do like a Shakeology sample pack. We can do, I have Fixate cookbooks. I have the Performance Line sample pack. I do have some other workouts and stuff, but that's going to start making the cost go up. And I figure we should probably keep it ballpark at 25 or less. And if one of the people that you invited wins one of those prizes, I'm just going to ask that you reimburse me for anything that costs anything and shipping. Or if you have stuff of your own you want to do yourself, that's cool too. I'm just telling you that I have stuff and I'm willing to get rid of it. The champ of the week, I'm going to start doing that. And I started this past week. The champ of the week was Justine. She had 690 personal volume points.
Woo.
I know. I'm like, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
So I still haven't sent it yet because I've been busy. But anyway, I promised her a $10 Amazon gift card. And we'll just keep doing that. I mean, it's something cool, a way to give people a shout out, and it's going to possibly change each week. So that is something we will continue on. And for Thursdays, I will announce who that is. Right now, we're at 12 Success Club points for the team. So let's make it a goal to get to like 25 by the next week's call. What do you think? We do it?
Yeah, we can do that.
We can do it.
Okay. All right. I think that's all I have at the moment. So back to you, Dave.
Okay. Thanks for that. Did you want to mention anything about?
Well, I just want to say really quickly that we spoke to Juan Castillo, and he's doing well. He's had a few family things he needs to sort out before he can actually do our Instagram training. And he said that his team does like a fly on the wall open house, kind of like what we're gonna do. And what they do is they record themselves. That way they can save those videos and use them over and over again. And they're doing it at least twice a month. So we can also do that too. You know, so we can do one live, one recorded, one live, one, you know, we'll figure it out. We'll play with it. But I see a lot of teams are getting into that.
Are you talking about the business opportunity?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, got it. Okay.
All right, cool. So, like I said, we're gonna get into after I talk about a few things here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a video, and the video is about 30 to 35 minutes long. But I'll explain to you what the video is about before we get into it. But the first thing I want to talk about is, you know, Denise and I had a unique opportunity the other night, and we actually ended up having a 2-hour phone call with Juan. Juan is you know, a guy that is slowly becoming a mentor of mine since I met him in Dallas. A lot of good stuff came out of Dallas, like I said. But we spoke the other night, and, you know, I was able to figure out a lot about myself. And to piggyback off of what, you know, the message was in Dallas, Dallas was about telling your story about who you were to attract people to you. And a big part of that was during Gary Vaynerchuk's speech. I don't know if you guys saw it. I posted it on our group pages. But Gary mentions a lot about how self-awareness and knowing who you are and knowing, you know, where you came from to determine what your personality is today. You know, we forget who that person was. And, you know, I had a breakthrough moment yesterday, especially. That's why I posted about our date night from last night, because that's what it really was all about. Juan told us about something called the personality test on colorcode.com. So this is the first thing I want you guys to write down. Okay. First thing I want you guys to write down is colorcode.com/personality_test. I can't recommend this enough, guys. Go to that website and do this personality test. There's tons of different personality tests out there. But the difference with this particular personality test is they base it off of your innate motives that you were born with, not behaviors. So it asks you questions, and they want you to answer the questions from the perspective of you as a child before you had any outside influences. So it's really, really interesting. Denise and I were both brought to tears answering these questions. That's how much this stuff goes into your past and helps you realize the person that you were made you the person that you are today.
Dave, can you say the website again? I didn't get to hear you. You got cut off.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to post a link to it
Okay.
on our team page afterwards, but it's color code, like the colorcode.com/personality_test.
Thank you.
Two versions of the test. There's a free version, which is basically going to tell you what your color is based on your personality. But there's a more in-depth analysis test that's about $40. But to me, it's worth it because it taught me a lot about who I am. I'm still reading. It's like a 25-page report. Plus, there's a MP3 audio on it. There's a video that explains to you what your personality is. And why am I talking about this? The reason why I'm talking about this is because if you know yourself, then you know the market that you're reaching out to. If you know who you are, then you're gonna position your Facebook posts, your Instagram posts, a lot more geared towards the person that you are and who you were. Because like I said before, and I'll say it again, people follow struggle. People don't want to see, a lot of your who you are today. They follow you because of who you were, not because of who you are. They follow you because of who you became, because of who you were. So that's very important for us to realize who we were and post about that and use hashtags about that. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be very candid right now about something that I realized about myself. And I had a tough time with it. And I bet a lot of you on this call don't even, would never guess that this is something I struggled with. I was bullied. I was somebody who went through bullying when I was a child. And I came to the realization that, you know what? I became who I am today because I had to put on a certain armor to protect myself. After I got bullied several times, I never went out. I was home all the time, and I developed this, this lonely thing where I kind of grew up alone. So I have something that I can share with a lot of people that they don't know they just know me as Coach Dave. Coach Dave is something that I created, even the fact that I wear a uniform, it's just the fact that, I dealt with fear of pain. And when I went through the color code test, it helped me realize that what my personality is, I'm a white, and you'll understand when you go through the test. But I understand why I'm a white and why I am the way I am today. So that's going to help me understand it and help me interact better with people that I speak to. So when it goes to dealing with objections and money objections, the more you can understand yourself and the more you can understand how to interact with other people of different personality codes, the easier it'll be for you to have a conversation. So that's why Denise and I are 100% recommending the color code personality test. I recommend you do it. You have some time, just clear your mind and think about yourself as a child and go through this test. And you're going to have, it's really a positive thing for you.
Yeah, and it's phenomenal. And then we'll share after each and every one of you do that. We share what our colors are, and it'll even tell you how to interact with the other color. I'm a yellow, and it told me how to interact with Dave being a white, because we're polar opposites. We are polar opposites. He's calm, I'm rude. So it's going to help us in our marriage, and it's going to help me to understand Millie's personality. I'll understand Carlos better. I'll get Heidi, and then it'll help us reach more people. And then we don't have to try to second guess ourselves, because then we understand each other deeper. So it's amazing. 100%. Please do it, guys. Okay.
Right. And what this is going to transition into is a lot of us may have issues with reaching more people on social media. When we talk to Juan and he talk to us about his Instagram training, a lot of the things he's going to talk about is using hashtags and following people. You want to gain more followers every day. So when you use certain hashtags, I'm going to use hashtags like fear, bullying, stuff like that. I used to, now currently I was using hashtags like Fit Dad, Fit Cop, and stuff like that. And all that thing was doing was bringing other fitness people, following me. I want people who are struggling, who I can help. Do you understand? So that's what the whole idea behind the personality test is going to do for you, to figure out who your niche is going to be that you want to talk to. So, all right, enough on that. Moving forward. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play the video right now. So I've mentioned this a lot about Cesar Rodriguez and his immediate yes formula training. I've posted the link here several times, and I spoke on it a few times. Now, I know that, it may be, it's a cost. I understand that. It's a cost. But for me, it was worth it. But what I'm going to do is I want this team to be rock stars. So to handle objections and to handle how to speak to people, how people to say yes to you, there's a formula to it. So I'm going to share with you guys one of the videos in the modules in his immediate yes formula. Okay. So I'm going to share the screen in a second. It's about a 37-minute video. In this video, he's actually doing a training for the #1 income earners in timeshares. Everybody who's been to a timeshare knows you have to sit through a 90-minute presentation, and by the end of it, you have a best friend and you're buying a timeshare, even that you didn't expect to get a timeshare. Okay? So Cesar is the guy that trains them on how to talk to people that way. So who best to learn from the guy himself? So without further ado, I'm going to play the video. After we're done with the video, I'll just wrap up the call, and if anybody has any questions, move forward. And then what I'll also do is I'll post the link again if you guys are interested in getting more from the course. So before we do that, anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? We're good? All right. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen. If anybody has issues listening, hearing, or whatever, let me know.
Let's see, man. Oh, we missed that one. There we go. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I can't make the screen any bigger.
All right. Hey, you guys ready? All right. I guess because there's a camera rolling, I get to say quiet on the set. All right. What we're going to do today is we're going to do a little training. And I know many of you guys, who here seen me train before? Just up by show hands. Cool. Well, for those of you guys that have not, you're going to see that I'm going to go over some heavy content, and I'm going to kind of speed through it. So if you've got notes, if you've got something to take notes with, get something from a neighbor, because I'm just going to go straight down the middle, hard and heavy, because we've only got about 30 minutes. And this is a training that I actually developed called the Immediate Yes Formula. And this is something that I developed and actually put it into an entire info product, and it's several parts. So this is probably like a 2-hour training that I'm going to attempt to cram in about 30 minutes. So if you guys are ready, say I'm ready. Ready. All right, good deal. I love the energy. Keep that going, because the more you kick it back, the better I do. So what I'm going to do is basically share with you. And again, for those of you that don't know me, I am crazy obsessive compulsive about personal development. Does anyone know that about me? Some people in here, I listen to like Tony Robbins when I sleep. All right. I listen to everything. I travel around. I spend thousands of dollars a year. I probably spent $20,000 last year just traveling, going to seminars to personally develop myself and to sharpen my axe so I can give back my best to everyone that I deal with. Now, one of the things that I've recently done, and this has kind of been a mission of mine, is I've really tried to dissect the sales process and find out why it is exactly that people buy. Why is it that we're able to, in this business and in this industry, to take someone that comes in and goes, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, we're absolutely not going to buy anything, even if if this is a sales presentation, we're out of here. Don't let me forget to tell you, I've got 5 kids in college right now. My house burned down yesterday, and I'm only here on vacation to get away from the grief. I've got all of these bills. I'm flooding. I'm dying. If we did decide to do anything, we certainly would not, absolutely not do it today whatsoever. We think, we pray, we ask for guidance, we go to our accountant, lawyer, and then they walk out hugging you like, thank you so much. Oh my God, this is the best thing. Thank you for selling us. Oh yeah, our house is going to be taken care of. The kids are graduating college next month anyway. And why? Because all that stuff was crap, right? Who here has ever sold people like that? That come in, swear, by show of hands, and I want you new people around the room to look around, how many people have ever sold to someone that swore up and down that they would not buy today, by show of hands? I just want you to see how many hands there are in this room. And the reason there's not more hands is because half of you guys are new. All right, I know, because I took a month off and I came back and I was like, what happened? All right, so now here's why this has just been such an interesting thing that's fascinated me. And I've like interviewed the top producers, people that are here, people that are in other industries, and I've really spent a lot of time in figuring out, how the heck did I get that person to buy it? What was it that got that person to buy that didn't get this person? Because what I figured out is that there's a formula. Would anyone like to know what the formula is? Like, I'm talking about like scientific stuff where there are certain elements of influence, and there are certain things that when a person, people think that making decisions is something that people do because they want to. It's not, guys. Saying yes for most of us is instinctive, and it's not a choice. It's not something that you think you have as much control over as you think. Because when certain people, we have things that are ingrained in us. I'm talking like from caveman days, responses to certain feelings that we get. There are certain triggers that trigger emotions in people that cause them to make decisions. And I'm going to lay out for you the elements that you need to get someone to say yes immediately. Now, there's a difference between getting someone convinced and sold and wanting to say yes, but there's a whole nother art, and there's a whole nother series of elements that have to be in any type of presentation to get someone to say yes immediately, with enthusiasm, with urgency, with saying, man, we got to get this done right here today. So I'm going to break that formula down for you. If you're excited, say, oh yeah. All right, so here's what we're going to do. For those of you taking notes, it's a formula, and I want you to just kind of write this down on your paper. This is a formula, so it's going to read just like an algebra problem almost, all right? And then I'm going to break it down. It's IY equals A plus S plus P plus I plus TC, T and C, plus R. So you should have IY, which is immediate yes, equals A, the A stands for action, plus S stands for solution, plus P stands for problem, plus I stands for information, plus T and C stands for trust and credibility, plus R equals rapport. So, what is this? This is the formula. In order to get someone to say yes immediately, you have to have all of these elements. Now I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to spend a little bit of time on each. And I'm also going to show you why it's written in that way. Because a lot of people typically know, how many of you guys just came out of training class? All right, so, whoa, okay. So, for those of you that came out of training class, I don't remember what sales process you guys were taught because it was so long ago since I went through it. But I do remember, and pretty much every sales process has got some type of thing where they say, hey, step number 1, warm up, right? That's rapport. Warm up, meet and greet, give them an intent statement, tell them what you're about to do, then go ahead and start to kind of go into your deal, do your discovery, find out about them, find out about what they're doing, and then start to kind of go into presentation mode, get, your TO, get an expert after you've done your pitch, and then close and handle objections and all that type of stuff. Well, here's what I want you guys to realize. If you're ever getting someone, now by show of hands, and I should probably see every hand in here except for someone that hasn't taken one tour, who here has ever gotten somebody all the way down to the line and they've said at the end, hey, this looks good, I get it, but they've given you some form of a today objection. Someone saying, hey, not today, tomorrow, let me think about it, let's sleep on it, something like that. Well, here's why, and here's the beautiful thing about this formula. Anytime someone says that to you, typically we want to blame it on them and say, oh, they're pastors, they don't ever, they got to pray about it. Or you go, oh, these people, they're just, man, they were taught by their grandfather from the Great Depression, if it's a deal today, it's a deal tomorrow, if it's a good day, it's a good deal tomorrow. So that's just how they are. They've never made a decision ever in their life. And they'll tell you that. And the wife will be there right there with the, yeah, he doesn't ever make a decision. We went to go buy shoes one day. I mean, it was on sale. It was the last pair. And that's just the way he is. He said that he has to go home and he'll think about it. And if it's here tomorrow, he'll buy it. That's just how, on shoes, he's like that, Caesar. He don't buy time. You think this is a major decision. Wrong. The only time you're getting that is because there's something in this formula that you missed. So the beautiful thing about this is you're going to now know after every presentation, if you ever get a today objection, what it was that you missed. So instead of placing the blame on the person and saying, oh, it was like that, that's disempowering, you lose control, and there's nothing you can do about the next one. But instead, when you have this, you can look back and go, okay, how was my report? Did I have enough of them? How about my trust and credibility? Oh, crap, there it is. I missed action. My urgency wasn't strong enough. So here's what I want you to do, and here's how I want you to break it down. The reason that it's broken down in that format is because what we normally think, and has anyone ever had a problem transitioning from the steps? Like, okay, now I've built rapport, and now is it time to pitch yet? Or, okay, now I've done this. Now is it time to go in for the kill yet? Just that transition. Well, here's how you make it smoother. If you know what your goal is to get from each step, you're going to be able to flow right through it. And what's going to happen is a lot of people, they'll get a little bit of information, and then they'll skip to the next step where they didn't get all the bullets that they really needed, and then they get down to the back-end close after they presented their solution, and then they can't figure out why they can't get a yes because they diagnosed the wrong problem, so their urgency didn't matter. All right, so let me show you how this works. All right, in order to get an immediate yes, and I want you to think about this on every presentation. In order to get an immediate yes response, you have to have an action. That action, that's your call to action, that's your close. That close and call to action has to be laced with urgency. It has to have some type of pain and pleasure integrated in it. So it has to be, if you don't do this today, here's what will happen. Here are the painful repercussions. And here are the wonderful, joyous, great things that happen if you did make that decision today. All right. Now, also on your urgency, what you want to do is you want to, and this is going to go into, I'm going to talk about why this is important in the next couple steps, but it's crucial that you do not give them the decision to say yes or no. This is not a decision that they make. This is not a ball that is in their court. You must retain the posture and the control throughout the entire sales process. Nobody that ever buys from me ever thinks I'm a salesperson. No one that ever buys from me thinks that they're the ones making the decision and they have the authority to say yes, park their credit card, and they get it. My people, and every time I've ever sold a deal ever, every single person knows that it's not up to us whether we approve it, or it's not up to them whether they say yes or no. It's whether our company decides to let them have the opportunity to take advantage of what I'm showing them. And even when they say yes and I take their credit card, it's still, I'll get back to you. I'll let you know this is going to take a couple of minutes. We're going to have to work it out. Why? Because I'm building in them that feeling of, man, if we get this, we've really won. We've really felt special. So if anyone's ever telling you, hey, this isn't something that we can do today, I instantly deflect that and I go, well, hey, look, I can appreciate you thinking that this is something that you can do today, but it's completely not really up to you. This is something that even if you said yes, I don't even know if I could do that or not. That completely shifts them from thinking that they have control. Who's in the driver's seat, you or them? If it's them, they're not buying. Because if it's them, they're going to make the decision when they feel like it. And when do you think that is? Probably never, right? At their convenience, later sometime in the future, that'll get brighter for them because that's what they always think. All right. Oh, no, 5 years from now. Then you met, see, I've been here for coming up on 6 years now. So I've seen those people again. And they're like, oh, yeah, this was going to be our year to buy, but guess what had happened? And then it starts off with what had happened was, and whatever. Be-backs don't come back. Just get that in your mind right now. When someone tells you, tomorrow, whatever, just assume, all right, they're gone forever. Okay? So you have to have an action. So why am I saying that? Because you have to begin with the end in mind in this sales process. The immediate yes sales process, you have to begin with the end in mind. So to get immediate yes, I need to have an action. In order to have an action, I call the action backed and laced with urgency, I need to have a solution to something. So I need to have some type of solution to a problem, the P, that they have. Now the problem that they have The solution is your pitch. That's your presentation. That's when, if you're opening up books, if you're telling them how great points are and how this thing works, or why they should trade, or why they should do this, the solution is dependent on their problem. Now, you have to solve a problem of them that is a personal problem. Some people go in and they say someone's got, like, it's funny, we had someone the other day, I can't remember, and I sat down on the back end of their table, and this was a person spending $20,000 a year, okay, traveling. All right, this is a person spending $20,000 a year traveling, and they were marathon runners. They run all across the world or whatever, and they do like 50 marathons a year. They're crazy, insane shape, So they were spending all this money. So the rep came up to me and they were like, "Hey, look, see, they're spending all this money. We can show them how we can do it for less and blah, blah, blah." And the first thing I start doing, and this is really good for you to do, prepare yourself for the objections they'll probably give. All right, I call it anticipate and eliminate. Anticipate and eliminate. I assume what objections, I literally run my own pitch in my head before I present it, and then I think of all the objections they might do so I can tighten it up. All right, so it doesn't take that much longer. It's just, I'll think, okay, so I'm going to go in here, and then if I did a rent to own on them, and I said, okay, well, look, let me show you the money, they might say, well, we don't really care about that, blah, blah, blah. So then I started to think, okay, I need to come up with some other angles. Well, this rep got so excited, they did most of the work, and I just kind of came in, and by the time I came in, there really wasn't any problem discovered. The problem was, we can give them a better deal on their travel. That's not really a problem. What you're looking for is a problem that they have that equals more, that the problem is so big that the solution costs less than it costs to keep the problem. So, for example, if you're getting someone, you don't want to just say, "Hey, listen, I got this great estate planning thing, leave it to your kids, blah, 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 look at all the money that you can save if you do it this way." That's one bullet. You want to come with several. You want to say that's one thing, and that might be a $10,000 concern of theirs. But, what if there was something else? What I use this program for is, what you really have to do is you have to get in your person's head, and you have to learn about what their hopes, fears, desires, pains are. And then what you have to do is you have to position what we do here and what you sell as the solution to their hopes, problems, fears, pains. You need to get emotional reasons. Points fix marriages. Points fix lives. It'll make you better. You're sick, you've got some hospital issues, points will fix that. Because why? Now position your presentation in a way, you've got health problem, medical. Well, let me tell you a story. Bam. And then you start talking about vacations provide points. Vacations lower blood pressure, lower this, da, da, da. So those are some benefits. But hey, look, what are the downsides? What if you didn't? What if you didn't? What if you passed away? What's going to happen to her afterward? So what you need to do is you need to dig at that core. Now people go, "Caesar, come on, now that's ridiculous. No one's going to tell me that their marriage is failing. No one's going to tell me that, they've got this, that, and the other." That is true if you have not gotten the right information from them. So how do you get the problem? The way you get the problem is to get the information from your prospect. Now, how do you get that information? Well, you have to have some trust and credibility. Now, let me ask you something. Think about because I know we all have good friends that we tell our secrets to, friends that we tell everything about our innermost problems. Now, do you tell someone that you don't trust a secret? Do you tell someone you don't trust about your problems? Right? Right now, my sink, in my house is doing something weird. All right? I don't even know. I can't figure it out. But I just know it's not working right. Now, am I going to come over here and say, "Hey, Jason, listen, yeah, man." He's like, "How are things going?" "Man, things are going crappy, man. My sink's broke." Well, he doesn't have the credibility to fix it. Unless he's like a plumber. You're not a plumber, right? All right, good deal. Just making sure. You never know. He's like, "Actually, what I used to do was," all right. So what I'm telling you is people are not going to confide in you if they don't trust you and if they don't believe that you have the authority to fix it. So how do you do that? Well, you have to build trust and credibility. So if you're ever finding, like, "Caesar, I'm having a big problem. I'm having a big problem in finding the problem that these people have." Well, it's not necessarily that you are doing a bad job at finding the problem. Perhaps you're not getting the information because you don't have the trust and credibility that you think you have with these people. Now, why wouldn't you have the trust and credibility? Well, maybe they don't like you. I know it's a scary thought, right? Because, I mean, we're all so likable, right? I mean, come on, we're in sales. We're like bubbly, fun people with all these great stories and lives. And we're outgoing and people, right? Who wouldn't love us? Well, probably the person in front of you, if you haven't built adequate rapport, that sounds natural. That sounds authentic. That sounds like you're not trying. Because everyone in the world knows, and here's the thing, I think we get tripped up a lot because we assume our people are stupider than they really are. They're just like us. They have stories pre-planned when they go to sit down with you. They come in to sit in front of you with garbage drama in your head. Just like you have garbage drama in your head when you sit down and you've been 0 for 20. And you haven't told anyone the past 20 towards you, and you're getting your butt kicked by the brokest, worstest people ever. You're like, God, another one of these, oh, God. And you come in and you carry that drama into your next door. Well, they're carrying in their last presentations and meetings with member services people too. And they go, oh, God, another one of these things. Going to sit down. And you know, it's funny. When you get really good at building rapport, trust, and credibility, I'm going to show you a couple cool things to do. Yeah, really, really quick. All right. When they come in with that, and it's so funny because my biggest forte, the reason why I have a high closing percentage and have like pretty much my entire career isn't because I'm like some great like presenter. Honestly, I know, you know how many times I use my book, the Wyndham book. The only thing I've ever used it for, I can say in probably the past year, easily in the past year, was to flip open to that VIP page and I show the little thing that says how Myrtle Beach is blacked out and yeah, there's a bunch of benefits and, you know, gold owners can do this and that. That's it. And then I put it in away. Like, I don't use a book. Why? Because I'm not selling what this program is. I'm selling what it's going to do for their lives. And what I do is I'm a master at building rapport, trust, and credibility. I have chosen that as my mastery and then urgency. If there's anything I can do, I can whip up some urgency that is customized to them, that it's personalized. Like it's like they're the only ones in the world that has ever had this problem. I can't believe it. They're going to have this problem solved. And here's why. Here's why it's expired. Here's why it's, you know, overdue. Here's why it's like if they didn't do it, you know, yesterday, it's already too late. You know, it'll be a miracle if it gets approved. I'm a genius at whipping that stuff up. Because I practice and I listen to what other people do, I store it, and then I mix it up and I wait for that person that it's appropriate for. So my urgency isn't just the same thing every single time. I've got probably 50 urgencies in my head that I could use that I integrate with my call to action. But none of that matters if I don't have the trust, credibility, and rapport. So what I've decided to do is say, hey, I'm just going to be their best friend. And if I'm their best friend, guess what they're going to tell me? What do you tell your best friend? Everything, anything. You're going to crack on the old reps. I have been cracking on you guys, right? Like I was here 3 weeks ago. I sat down with Ian. Yeah, that guy just talked about himself all day long. Talked about his kids and talked about his blah, blah, blah. And I'm just kidding. Everyone loves Ian, but I'm picking on him, you know, but no, I've had people tell me what people have told them, and they said, yeah, and I was like, so what did you think about that? How do you feel? They're like, well, you know, they were just doing this thing, and, you know, I know how it goes. They just were trying to look like they were nice guys, so that way they could drop the hammer on us later and and then once we say we're not going to buy, then they get all, and they get all mad. So guess what? I get that information real quick. So I know, great. I better not act overly nice and overly talk about myself and how to get down to business and then weave in my rapport. Here's what I want you to understand. This is a formula. It doesn't matter where you put it. It's plus signs. You have to have it all in. When we're going into these rooms, I'm opening up with a lot of action and urgency. I'm saying urgency, saying, man, I can't believe this. You missed it, blah, 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 blah. And now I'm weaving in rapport, trust, and credibility. So I want to give you guys a really cool formula within the formula to help you to remember this. Okay? If you were to write it out another way, you could just write, this is a great way to remember this. All right, just write down B2, then space F2, and then space P2. So here's how you remember it, because I know someone's might be going like, what am I got to go into the room and be like, immediate yes formula. Okay, rapport. Hey, how's it going? Do you have any kids? Great. Trust. I'm a nice guy. Here's why you should trust me. Credibility. I've been here for 5 years. That does not work, right? Here's what I want you to do. Think about it really quick, really simple. B2, F2, P2. Build, find, present. So what are you doing when you're going to sit down with someone? What's your formula? You're going to build. I'm going to build rapport. I'm going to build trust and credibility. I'm going to find. I'm going to find information, find a problem, or create a problem. If they have a problem, I'm going to agitate the hell out of it and make it feel like they got a problem. Like, yeah, we got this thing. We can't get into where we want to go. Like, holy smokes, are you kidding me? You can't. This thing isn't working for you. Oh my God, how does that feel after spending all of this money and knowing that every other owner around here gets their thing to work perfectly? Like, God, what was that not like a flag to you? Well, what else isn't working? Your maintenance? Oh my God. They're like, what? Well, we just thought it was like, oh no, that problem is this big. Oh my God, well, what about this? That's not happening to you too, is it? This other thing that I'm saying right now? Oh yeah, that's happening to us too. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Who the heck dealt with you before? And now they're like, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know it was that big of a deal. Are you kidding? After everything, you spent all the money, you're going to keep this thing for the rest of your life, and you're going to pass it down to your kids? Oh my God. Whew. Now all of a sudden they're like, their problem that was maybe they're like, yeah, it's like we maybe spend like $5,000 and maybe fix that and make that little pain go away. Now they're like, holy crap, we didn't realize it was a $20,000 problem. So now I know $20,000 problem, I probably got a $10,000 deal. You guys catch that? So I go, I want a $20,000 deal. I need to stack about $40,000 worth of problems. So what else is going on in your life? So how do you do this? How do you get the foundation, which is the trust, the rapport, and the credibility? I developed something a long time ago I call info stacks and stack triggers. This is like my secret voodoo stuff right here. That's why I can sit down with anyone on a table and bam, like they're laughing, I have instant rapport, and it allows me to get to where I need to go. It's also why I've always had a very low rescission rate. I don't get a lot of cancellations, all right, for the amount of volume that I've written. It's because what I do, and here's the problem with most of us, honestly. I'm telling you, and you know in your heart of hearts, people would like you if they really got to know you. A lot of us do some awesome things. We've done some awesome things for other people. We've got a lot of great things we'd love to tell people about if we could only do it without sounding arrogant, cocky, and talking about ourselves. So how do you do that? Okay, well, I'll give you an example. I know what a great guy I am. Right? And you should know what a great guy or gal you are. Think about if you were to write down all of the things about you. If I didn't exercise, if we had more time, I would say, write down the 10 things that show what a loving, trusting, awesome, beautiful person you are. It might be say, hey, my wife gets to stay at home with her kids because I love my kids. I don't want them to be in daycare. It was my wife's dream to be a stay-at-home mom, and I was able to do that. Hey, I work 2 jobs going to college so that I could pay for my little sister's way through college. All right, so my story, some things about me, and I've got a few things, is I like to share with people that, hey, I'm the oldest of 3 kids. I was 10 years older than my little sister. My mom, because she was a single mom, and my dad, when he was around, he wasn't very active, I pretty much stepped in and raised my little sister. So for all intents and purposes, people look at me when I sit on the table and they're like, look at this slick-looking Rico Suave dude with a custom shirt and talking fast and got an answer for everything. I probably look like a salesperson. How many people think I probably look like a salesperson? I might be intimidating to some people, all right? So I instantly have to counter that. So what I like to do is I like to, and also too, when I was single and I don't have any kids, right? They're like, look at this guy, he's probably a player too, because he looks good, so he's probably a player. Some of y'all are too serious in here. All right. So and when I was single too, I was like, hey, I'm single, no kids, I'm 32 years old. People were like, oh yeah, player to the death. Look at him pitching me. So the first thing I want to do is I want to let them know, like, listen, I'm probably the youngest person you'll ever meet that's got a kid in college. Why? Because I'm the oldest of 3 kids. My mom was a single mom. I pretty much raised my sister. And all throughout her life, everything that she did, I did. She played soccer, I coached. She played softball, I coached. I was the assistant coach. I was 16, she's 6. I'm out there at 16 years old, guys, coaching little girls soccer, right? Yelling at them. You know, no, you're going the wrong way. No, you're going to score in the wrong goal. No, you only score on that goalie in our practice. What are you doing? Stay in your positions, right? Now, I did that my whole life. And my sister now, she's graduated and she's, working for the Department of Defense. She's like more important than I am, and she's 23 years old. Now, that's an awesome story to be able to share with someone that I've done that much and I put a kid in college at my young age. It shows how fast I've matured, how much I love my mom, how much I love my sister. But how do I just whip that out on the table, right? What does that have to do with timeshare or anything that they're talking about? Well, there's 2 things. There's boomerang questions that you ask. Boomerang question is a simple thing like, hey, where are you from? Tell them about your kids, blah, blah, blah. So you throw out a little boomerang, and you probably know that question's going to come back, right? Say, hey, where are you from? They answer the question. You're going to go, no way, I know someone from there, or you're going to find some way to try and build some rapport. And then that question's probably going to come back and say, well, where are you from originally? Right? And then, bam, they've hit me, and that allows me to maybe get my sack. Oh, I'm originally from New York, raised in New Jersey, lived in North Carolina, Virginia. So I'm like building rapport with maybe stuff we might have in common, people they know. But what happens when they don't ask you questions? Well, I have triggers. One of my triggers, so I call those things info stacks, stacks of information that allow me to go into a set of information and a stack of information about me that allows me to build rapport, trust, and credibility. That's Hank Harrison. He's the only one that can just come in here like that because he's the man. Just for you new people, he can just do that. All right, don't try that. All right, so here's the deal, because we're going to finish up because I only got about 2 more minutes. So here's the trigger. So that's the stack is the thing about my family. So the trigger is I'll have lots of cups of water on my table. Or I'll use the music that's playing really loud in the background. And what I'll do is I'll say, excuse me, hold on, I need to take a sip of water. If it gets loud, that's a trigger. If the music is playing loud, if someone is talking loud around me, if I've been talking for a long time and I need a sip of water, that triggers that stack because I'm able to naturally talk about something. And what I'll say is I'll say, excuse me, guys, I need to take a sip. My throat gets really wore out really fast. Actually, it's kind of crazy. The doctors say that I strain my vocal cords. It's kind of a funny story. Basically what happened was, you probably don't care about the details. But bottom line is when I was younger, and I was coaching, I strained my vocal cords when I was younger because I'm 10 years older than my little sister. My mom was a single mom, so I pretty much raised her. When she was 6, I was 16, so I pretty much did everything that, father would do for a little kid. I know I'm young, but so from being on the soccer fields, coaching little girls soccer at 16 years old, I developed really late in life. Like I'm talking, I didn't hit puberty until I was like 20. I didn't have a mustache until I was like a sophomore in college. They're usually laughing, and I'm like, I still don't even think I've got my growth spurt. And then I'll usually say, so what had happened was when I was younger and I was coaching little girls soccer, my voice hadn't even matured. My voice hadn't cracked. I was outside yelling at little 6-year-old girls, screaming at them, trying to keep them in their positions and doing all that. You guys know how it is. You said that you've got 2 kids, right? Well, yeah, so from then I strained my vocal cords. So it's really hard for me to talk for a long time, without taking lots of water. So if you'll notice, that's why I've got 2 cups of water here, 2 on the ground. That's why I might have to get up. That's why I have to lean in. And I'm not a very loud spoken person because of that, because I strained my vocal cords. But, it's great. I wouldn't take it back. My sister grew up awesome. She just graduated college, and it's, so I'm going on this side tangent. Say now she's more important than I am, right? She works for the Department of Defense. And they're usually laughing, and it almost never fails. When I execute that set, they're usually like, oh, they go, oh, you're such a good brother. What? Your mother must be so proud of you. Everything I said was the truth, and I actually do have damaged vocal cords. But how in the world could I have shown myself in that without sounding like I was talking about myself? Well, I used something to trigger that stack of information. I have ones for trust, for credibility, for rapport. Someone says something, boom, I'm in my set. It's automatic. And I could literally be having a conversation thinking about what I'm going to pitch and how I'm going to pitch it while my set is running. My mouth is moving, and I'm going, okay, cool. I think I could probably do a trade, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like on autopilot because I've practiced and I've done it so many times and it's pre-planned. That's how you want to be. You want to be in sets and in stats, and you want to have multiple triggers. So I have several things. If I go into a room the other day, I did the thing in the room. I was like, do you guys have some water? My throat's kind of parched. You know, I know you have little kids. Yeah, I did that. And I went into that set. And what's funny is the dude gave me his McDonald's orange juice. He's like, look, I don't have any cut water. We just got here. We only got the sink stuff. You know, he's like, look, why don't you take my orange juice? And I was like, I can't take your orange. Give me some tap water. He's like, no, man. So why? Because I had great rapport. How much rapport do you think I did after that? If I can get someone to give me something, I now owe them. If I give them something, they now owe me. So because he gave me that orange juice, I was like, listen, you are so, man, dude, I totally owe you. And now that's going to be my excuse for why they're going to come down here at 11:30. Say, listen, man, I owe you. It's called reciprocity. It's one of the pillars of influence. All right. So do you guys like that whole stacks and the stack triggers? So here's the exercise. I like to give everyone an action plan. What I want you to do is I want you to develop sets of information about yourself. Take the time to write down why someone would love me. Why someone would trust me. Why would someone believe what I'm saying? Why would they believe I have their best interests at heart? Here's a tip. Any benefit that you say or anything nice that you say that you're going to do, especially because of you or because of the company to them, anytime you're overly nice to someone, people sometimes, especially here, they get the feeling, oh, this is too good to be true. So how do you diffuse the too good to be true? You have to explain to them why it's to the benefit of us as well. So I'll be extra nice and I'll say, hey, listen, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go extra mile. I'm going to stay late. I get off at 2. I'll stay late for you, but here's the only thing I ask you to do. All right, I'm trying to work on a promotion. If you wouldn't mind, just write a little letter when we're all said and done today and explain how much, I've done for you. And if you wouldn't mind, I would absolutely appreciate that. Now they're like, that's why he's being so nice. This all makes sense. That's why he's doing it. Why is our company doing that? Hey, listen, our company will give you this, and don't get me wrong, we don't want to have to give this much off of what we do. Absolutely not. Our company's not even making money, I don't think, on something like this. This is ridiculous. However, if this happens, you need to pump out a ton of referrals because the only way they'd consider it is if they're going to get something back from you because they're not doing this one, obviously, for the money. The only reason that they would do it is because of this, because it's a PR situation. They want good press. They don't want you to do this. They want the referrals of your friends and family. Put it on them because now they feel like, oh, when people do things that are too nice, for those of you that are pitching rental, which I know is like nobody in this room, but the people out there that are selling, that was a joke. Bad joke, maybe. All right. No, but if you're ever going in that direction, all right, well, guess what? When you start going, oh, and you're going to get this and it's going to do this. Look, why do we want them to be able to offset their fees and their expenses? So that they can buy more later. Look, if you don't have this thing, guess how much good press you're talking about our company? Guess how much this? So do you see that? Everything is benefit for them, but why we're going to do it. Benefit for them for why we're going to do it. That way you don't throw any flags if you go, this is why we're going to help you. This is why they're giving us the deal of the century. You know why? They're just trying to sell us. They're just trying to do this. So explain these things. That's going to help to diffuse that. So, all right, I'm going to wrap up with just a quick little thing on this formula. This is what I want you to do. After every single presentation, before, during, and after, you should be memorizing all of these steps and thinking, have I gotten the problem? No? Then I need to stay in information gathering mode. I need to create the problem. I need to ask more questions. And then, why am I not getting any daggone information from them? They still see me as a salesperson. Why do they still see me as a salesperson? Damn, I better weave some more rapport stuff in here. I better ask them a question non-business related. All right. When you're doing your solution, are you diagnosing the right problem? Are they hazing out? Are they looking back, checking their watch? Why? You're not maybe solving a problem there. So now you might want to go, whoa, let me slow off the points pitch here. Let me slow off the rental. Maybe rental's not important to them. Let me slow off the estate planning. Maybe that's not important to them. And then at the end of the day, how much urgency have I put into this thing? And if you're getting objections like, yeah, we don't care, then hey, wrong solution, didn't find the problem. So now on your next one, you can be that much stronger, diagnose yourself and say, and know what you need to do on the next one. And that's the formula for getting an immediate yes. If you have every single one of those elements, they're going to compulsively say yes and throw you their credit card and want to do business. And they're not even going to completely understand why. They're just going to feel like, I just had to do it because this person made me feel warm and fuzzy. I told them everything. I gave them my problem and they solved it. It's problem, solution, pain, and pleasure. Has this stuff been helpful, guys? Yes. You good? Go ahead. Hey, man, I appreciate your time. Take a quick break.
Good night, Jimmy.
Good seeing you, man.
Okay, love you. All right, guys. So hopefully you guys got value out of that video. There was a lot of information there. And as you can see, I'm going to share the screen one more time. There's all these different modules here on the left. Each one of the formulas, each one of the, the rapport is broken down to, right here into one video. The second part, trust and credibility, is another video. Information, another video. The pain, the problem, another video. So every part of the formula is broken down into its own video. That one there was, just a culmination of all of them put together. But he breaks it down individually so you can really, really understand the concepts of each one. And that, after I implemented this, the first time I implemented this, after I really got good with it, it took me a while to really get through all the videos. I remember I spoke to this guy, Pedro, and I spoke to him for, I spoke to him for about an hour. After I was done with the phone call for an hour, he was getting a challenge pack for 22-minute hardcore. Never even asked me what the price was for the challenge pack. Not one time did he ask me how much it costs. He said, all right, ready to get started. I sent him the enrollment. Boom, he got it right away. And that was good to go. So this is a way where I was able to overcome objections because I saw it before and I attacked it and took it out of the way before he even had an objection to it. So, like I said, I'm going to post a link again if you guys are interested at getting this more in-depth training with Caesar. I know he gives like $2,000, courses and stuff like that. But I'm just curious. I don't know if you guys saw before. How much do you think this course is? This program is worth? Anybody have an idea?
I know Chalene Johnson does her for like $2,000 plus.
Yeah, Chalene Johnson does it for like $2,000. If you were to guess, Heidi, how much you think this course is worth? How much it costs to get this course? I want you to guess.
I don't know, 3,000.
Okay. Carlos, what do you think? How much is this course? Hold on. Got to unmute you. I'm going to unmute everybody because I want to ask everybody because I'm curious of what you think. If you already saw it, just hold off on your answer. But I want to ask everybody what they think this course would cost. Carlos, what do you think this course would be?
About 2,000.
Okay. Millie, how much you think? Did you see it already?
I think I know more or less how much it costs, but
Okay.
I'm gonna say about all right.
I'm going to ask Rebecca. I'm going to ask Rebecca first.
I've seen how much it is too.
Okay. So this course, if you're interested in, costs $147. Okay.
For the challenge pack.
Yeah, about the same price of a challenge pack. Now, here's the other benefit that I'm going to tell you about this. I'm not trying to sell this to you guys, but I want this team to explode, and I want you guys to have better rapport with people, how to talk to people. Okay. The benefit of this course is this. It's $147, but you also get what's called an affiliate link. If you speak to somebody and they're in sales or they're also a network marketer, how many times you get people from Herbalife or whatever other company trying to contact you on Instagram? So instead of just saying, blowing them off and say, I don't want to talk to this person, you say, you know what? How you doing on closing people? Oh, I'm doing okay. Would you be open to check another video that I saw that help you closing people? I shoot them my link, and if they buy it, 50% commission off that purchase. Now, you send that to 3 people, and you get your course paid for. It's just another way to create revenue. And it's hold on, let me just mute it.
Yes.
Okay. So it's just another way to create revenue for you. And it's company neutral. It has nothing to do with any other particular company. It's just sales in general. So again, I'll post a link to that. I'll post a link to Color Code, and that's about it. I think we covered a lot of information here. Hopefully this helps, and I'll post a recording very soon. All right. So I'm going to open up. Everybody has any questions, comments, concerns? If not, we'll wrap it up, and that'll be it for the call. Anybody got any questions? Comments? Everybody good?
I want to congratulate Lisa. She's not on the call tonight. She got stuck at a wake, but I want to congratulate her on getting her very first code signed up.
Nice.
All right.
When, she sees this playback later, she'll see that we all congratulated her.
Very good. Very good. All right, guys. So if that's it, I wish you guys a good night, and we'll talk to you soon. Go after it. Get some Success Club points this week. Make it happen.
Yep. All right.
All right. Take care, guys.
Good night, guys.
Thank you.